Hi, Big Tractor Power fans. This video comes to you from a cornfield located in western Kentucky, where a 775 engine horsepower Case IH AF10 Axial-Flow Combine, equipped with a 567 bushel grain tank, is harvesting the crop with a 16-row, 30-inch spaced, 40-foot wide Case IH C516 corn head. This monster combine continues axial flow harvesting innovation at Case IH, which dates back to 1977 when International Harvester introduced the first single rotor combine on the market with the 170 horsepower, 180 bushel model 1460. Axial flow technology evolved over the next 2 decades, and in September of 1998, Case IH produced its 100,000th axial flow, which was a 240 engine horsepower, 180 bushel model 2366. In 2003, Case IH introduced a new generation of axial flow combines with the 375 engine horsepower, 330 bushel AFX 8010. This flagship combine would set the standard for the company for the next 2 decades. Model year 2025, with the release of the AF10 combine, will continue Case IH's rotary leadership with axial flow technology, building on the 5 principles set back in 1977 with the original 1460, offering simplicity, grain quality, grain savings, crop adaptability, and match capacity. The AF10's new level of harvesting capability begins with a 15.9-liter Case IH FPT C16 Stage 5 970 cubic inch engine, rated at 775 horsepower. The combine is fitted with a 396-gallon diesel fuel tank and a 43-gallon diesel exhaust fluid tank for clean engine solutions. This combine's cleaning and threshing system begins with a 57-inch wide feeder house. It features an AFXL single rotor that is 30 inches in diameter and 144.5 inches long. It is significantly longer than the previous large axial flow, the 9250, which has a 103.3-inch long rotor. The cross-flow cleaning system, which features side shake, has a total sieve area of 13,578 square inches. The previous 9250 has a sieve cleaning area of 10,075 square inches. This axial flow features a 567 bushel grain tank standard from the factory and can be ordered with an optional 455 bushel grain tank. The grain pours out through a 37-foot, 8-inch long unloading auger at a rate of 6 bushels per second. The AF10 weighs in at 50,757 pounds. Now that we've had a chance to look at the basic specifications of the combine, let's take a ride in the cab of the AF10 to talk with the farmer about the new threshing size, harvesting capacity, and technology. I'm in the cab of the Case IH AF10 Axial-Flow Combine. It's harvesting 40 feet of corn with the new Case IH C516 corn head, taking in 16 rows of 30-inch spaced corn. I'm here with Brandon, who is the farmer, and getting a great opportunity to run this new AF10. What do you think of it so far?
Hey, well, it's been a pretty impressive combine. Compared to our 9250s, the capacity of the machine is significantly more, probably even a little more than I expected it was going to be, which in result is giving us more room to thrash better and have less losses than we already have with our 9250, which are definitely good. The cleaning capacity of this machine is a big step forward from the legacy combines we got today. Amount of capacity that it has for the clean grain elevator, but being able to do it with next to zero grain loss on the ground, but also do such a good job of cleaning the sample, which is an expectation of Case IH combines. But this one's doing it at capacities that we've never been able to achieve with what we have. So I think it's going to be a leg up in the marketplace here, and it's doing a really good job for us. We've put several thousand acres under it now, and been pretty impressed by its capabilities.
So this is still the single rotor, 30-inch diameter, but it's just a little over 3 feet longer than what the 9250 had?
That's correct, yep. Still a single rotor machine. This particular one's a single rotor machine. Like you said, it's longer in length, which has given us more room to separate that crop, which has increased our ground speed and throughput, and with, next to none rotor loss. We've been able to, I've kind of tried to make it have some in some pretty high yielding corn here. It's doing an unbelievable job. I've been really impressed with the longer rotor.
Now it's got the 567 bushel grain tank. That has to really help out. We're hearing some pretty long rows today, and
that's for sure. It helps logistically with the grain carts. We fill the grain carts probably faster than we were, but yeah, the capacity, if you're going to go faster, you got to carry more to get any kind of a acre efficiency throughout the day. So yeah, I've enjoyed having extra grain space, especially on this year where we've got a pretty good corn crop.
and the onload rate's pretty fast at 6 bushels per second. That's a big step up from 4.5 on the 9250.
It's moving a whole lot of grain. It kind of feels like it takes about the same amount of time to unload as our 9250, but you got to realize how much more we're putting out in the same time. I think I haven't timed it, but it's putting out a whole lot of crop into the grain cart here.
Well, we can see that big auger coming out and starting to unload here into the cart. When the combine's unloading on the go, do you have a clean out feature on the auger if you have to stop or the grain cart's full and you're not quite empty?
So yeah, there's a cross auger function on the joystick. If I'm dumping on the grain cart and it becomes where I'm not going to get my auger completely empty before I need to shut it off, I simply just hit one button on the joystick and it cuts the cross augers off in the grain tank. That way it lets the auger clean out before it stops, before I get done unloading, so we don't have to fold it up with it full, take a chance on being empty.
Oh, it's a nice feature. You get every corner filled and send a full cart out and keep the combine empty and not have that weight in the unloading arm.
That's right. As the unloading augers have gotten bigger and longer, it's a pretty important feature for longevity to keep the auger in good working condition and not have us cause time and breakdowns.
So the grain is really pouring out of the auger, and it must be nice to have that large pivot point on the boot at the end to fill your cart, because that's a lot of corn moving at one time.
It does. It's moving in a pretty large stream. It helps to be able to direct it when the corn gets drier and moisture. It likes to flatten out in that grain cart so you can control where you're at. And it's also useful whenever we stop and dump on the trucks, which you try not to do a whole lot. But, if you pull up to the truck and you miss it just a little bit, or miss the place or where you need to be, you can adjust your spout. And likewise, the grain cart driver doesn't get back in the exact same spot that he has been. You can just move over and continue properly loading whatever you need to unload. So that spout's a useful tool.
Oh, it looks helpful. It looks like it holds maybe an extra 25 bushels just there at the end.
It does look like it. It's pretty good size.
So your farm has been running tracks on Axial-Flow combines for about 15 years now, which I imagine that long you've liked them, but now there's a whole new track system for the AF series. How do you like that?
This track module is pretty impressive. It really softened the ride of the track machine. Our Case IH combines always ride good in the field, but there's times in these backcountry roads that aren't always the best. That they don't always ride as smooth as a tire machine. But this machine with this new track module, it's got a whole lot satisfied with the ride of it so far.
Running a 16 row head, what kind of acres can you cover in an hour, or what do you get in a day?
We've been running around, it just depends on the field conditions, of course, and every hybrid doesn't shell the same, but you know, we're getting into some moisture corn today, and the fodder's consistent. I was running about 5 miles. I've been running about 5 miles an hour, so that's equivalent to about 7,000 bushels an hour. This field we're running, I think I didn't reset it this morning, but we were running somewhere around, I think it was right at 18, 19 acres an hour with this machine right now. So cover quite a bit of ground, and I don't always keep up with how many acres we shell an hour. The bushel per hour is what's pretty important for me.
So what kind of bushels an hour are you seeing out of this?
So in this field today, about 4.7 to 5, we were running anywhere between 65 and 7,000 bushels an hour pretty consistently. So good deal of the field, good long runs, and can you know, keep your ground speed and not have to turn as much. So we've been shelling a lot of bushels today in this field. Pretty consistently across the harvest season. It's been anywhere from 5,500 bushels an hour and up, depending on you know, the moisture of the corn and the greenness of the fodder.
As the combine comes into the next 40-foot pass here, we can see the Case IH row guide. That's that wishbone finger underneath that snout that's sticking out, the silver piece. And we're going to come in to a 40-foot pass. And what that will do is allow Brandon to run hands-free. And it's also helpful as the grain cart pulls up again to start unloading on the go. Combine unloads, Brandon can focus on looking out and seeing it, and the computers are taking care of keeping it on course. So it's nice having the auto guidance. What other technology has been upgraded on the AF series of combine?
So new, and it actually was new in the legacy machine for the 60 series, but we've got a few more features in the AF to go along with it. Integrating the 1200 display, which is the newest Case IH display that we run in our Magnum tractors and our Steiger tractors. Integrating that into the combine platform, and not only one but dual display in the machine, so we can really spread out and look and keep an eye on more things as I'm able to run my day, which is extremely helpful. Instead of having to toggle between run screens, kind of just place things between the two displays that I want to look at, and just can kind of look up and down as opposed to having to move side to side. So that's been a pretty big improvement for this series combine. Of course, still staple in the Case IH combine is the harvest command automation piece. It's really, you know, probably becoming more important as a tool for a combine with this much capacity. Being able to have it see things and know how the machine's running based off sensors and cameras inside the machine that I can't see from the driver's seat really makes it run to optimum level. So pretty excited for the technology set in this machine. It gives us a good foundation to build on for more things in the future, and for sure it's making this combine run as good as it is.
So you actually have cameras where you can see on the screen there, you can see your clean grain coming through, and
right here, so we can see inside these we got the grain cam measures mog and broken grain. So blue, it highlights blue if it has foreign material in there, and you can see there's next to none that it's picking up. You're going to have a small amount of broken grain with the moisture of the corn, but extremely low levels. We've been hauling corn to the elevator here, and I mean our numbers look fantastic out of this machine. It's the way it's the extra cleaning capacity is really gave us a leg up for our sample. You notice you haven't seen any cob in any of those pictures. We're not getting hardly any kind of corn cob in our grain sample, which is pretty impressive. impressive from when we started at 25-26% moisture corn down to 16% moisture corn. We've kept the cob out of the grain tank even better than we're used to doing. So the cleaning system on this combine is totally revamped from the legacy machines, and looks like to me it's got a whole lot of room for a lot of different things, and it does an even better job of cleaning than what we're used to doing with our 9250s.
And also with this technology, your farm is going to strip till, and you're planning on 16 rows in the spring with a 2150S. So is the combine able to talk with the Magnum tractor that's putting the corn in, so you can follow your rows?
We have our guidance lines loaded in our combine, so we're running down the exact rows that exact way we planted it. So we're in a tractor track right now, and it's also the same track that the strip till tractor ran in. So yeah, we're all running off the same guidance patterns across the counter here.
Well, that's especially helpful when you're opening up a new section. You know right where to go.
We're always taking 40 foot. We don't ever have partial passes or that lonely harvest row left.
That's right. No row of shame.
That's right.
Now, as we look out here, we're going across a waterway. We can see the new corn head that has just been introduced, the C516. Notice the cross auger is much larger than the past 4400 series.
It is, and that's been a key to. It seems like it's a key to being able to pick up ground speed. One thing I always kind of wondered how we were going to handle is we got a bigger combine. There's limitations in the corn head. Looks like some improvements have been made to this C-Series corn head. It's a really good, seems to be a really good, stable corn head. It feeds well. It's allowed the ground speed to pick up with the machine, but it's also doing good on row loss just as well as the 4400 series did. So all in all, looks like it's been a success for the corn head update. I've been pretty excited. It even picked us up a little ground speed in our Class 9 combine to have one on it. So I'm excited about the corn head as well. Looks like they've done a great job of giving it an update, and it's doing a great job for us.
What have you found is the best speed that you're running with the 16 row head?
It all just becomes about balance. On a good corn crop, you get logistical limitations. So we kind of just balance the working speed of the machines based on how fast the trucks are getting unloaded or how many we've got. It's all about balance. We're not doing ourselves any good if we're running as hard as we can and waiting on trucks. So we just find that speed balance that optimizes the day. Kind of that sweet spot seems to be around 4 miles an hour for 2 machines, depending on the field size. If we're in a smaller field than we're in today, obviously we could probably run a little faster because we got to do more turning. But it's all about balance and harvest and keeping everything moving in a cohesive motion. It's the combine guys just one piece of the puzzle for the day, but it takes the grain carts and the truck drivers and everybody moving in a cohesive motion to maximize the bushels we can shell a day.
We can see those trucks lined up here. I imagine you're keeping at least 6 of them busy every hour.
Yeah, so. We're running, at least. And then I measure the productiveness of the day. I don't usually look a whole lot how many acres we shell a day, but I go in and add up and see how many bushels we shell a day. So that's the goal: maximize how many bushels we can shell a day. We had a really, really good day yesterday. 2 machines we shelled 71,000 bushels yesterday. So it's about the best day we've had of harvest this fall. Spent a whole lot of days in that 60 load range, 60,000 bushels a day. But we popped in 71,000 bushels yesterday with 2 60-row machines. So I was happy with that. Thought we had a really good day, productive day, and efficient day.
we can see the nighttime view from the cab of the AF10. It has a great light package and you can really see the combine well from the outside. But here's the operator's view going down the 16 rows. Brandon, how have you liked the light package on this for visibility at night?
It's been really good. I mean, you can see around the cab here, we're illuminating a good area here beside this AF10. So it's always nice to be able to see what's going on at night, and make sure we try to not run into anything as dusty as it is out here in the fall time. Having good lights and being able to see how to operate the machine correctly is always important.
I appreciate the ride along and all the information. It's an exciting new machine to see and impressive to see in the cab and out in the field.
Hey, we're glad to have you. Appreciate what you do, and I hope everybody enjoys getting to view the new combine.
I hope that you've enjoyed spending some time out in the field hearing and seeing this Case IH AF10 Combine harvesting corn. I would like to hear in the comment section below the video what you think of this new machine, or if you use Axial-Flow Combines on your farm, I would like to hear about the model that you operate and the crops that you harvest with it. If you've appreciated this presentation, I hope that you'll consider subscribing to Big Tractor Power YouTube, where there's over 2,000 videos of farm machines in action. As always, thank you for watching.